it seems like so many moving pieces, and it's entrepreneurialism at its core of just who's going to build the thing, who's going to finance the thing, whose idea is it. It just seems like so many moving pieces and so many moving puzzles, and just to bring it all together and to get a license like that, it sounds near impossible. It sounds like opening a business license here, right? I'm joking, all right. I have a business here. But it seems so tricky, and you pull all these pieces together and create this project, and you're able to launch this setup.
So one thing led to another. It's a long story. It's worth a book someday. But one thing led to another, and I was one day able to raise $6 million from a group of investors using just a brochure. And the brochure explained how the system would work. And I told them, you're not technical people anyway. And we should, if you give me the money, I would be able to put together a technical proposal that will be endorsed by anyone that you bring. So they gave me $6 million to do a study. I went to McKinsey and to satellite manufacturers, and a technical/business proposal was prepared by a top-notch company. That was July of 1995. They, in a very short period of time, I was able to build a rapport with them. They knew I was sincere. They knew I didn't want to build a house in the Caribbean or anything like that. I was sincerely trying to build a satellite. So they gave me the money. There's a story about the money itself, which is for another time. But they gave me $6 million in July of 1995. By October, 2.5 months later, they gave me $57 million to start the manufacturing of the satellite. Then by the end of next year, by December of 1996, I was able to raise a total of, including the monies I had raised, minus the 1 million, I was able to raise $750 million. So some of that was debt, some of that was equity. And the lawyer that was writing this agreement up included he wanted me to be personally liable for $750 million. I said, sure. And the investors were very surprised. They said, what kind of a lawyer are you? What kind of a house? I said, I have a house. Mortgage hasn't been paid for 3 months, but you can pay the mortgage and take the house if I don't do well with this service. In 1997, a few months after securing the complete financing for the satellite, I was able to get another $200 million to start a company of a satellite radio company in the United States called XM Radio. If you are in if you've been in the U.S., you would know of a satellite radio service where you get like DSTV instead of television, you get radio. So the first satellite radio to be launched was the one I built for Africa. It was the first time that a satellite, or in fact even a new technology, was debuted in Africa before it came to America.
It's huge.
So that's most of the story.
That's huge.
Of the big part, beginning.
Yeah.
This is part of the beginning.
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, so the satellite was launched for Africa, but America realized the use of it for them too, and I'm just trying to soak all this in. It's incredible, incredible, incredible stuff. You are an absolute pioneer. The Renaissance leaders you speak of, you yourself have gone on to pioneer things that no one else had, and it's an absolute honor just even hearing this. So maybe let's fast forward to now. You raised all the money. Just quickly, in total, how much was raised to launch the thing in the sky?
So about 1.5 billion.
My goodness.
Was raised and used. So if you're looking at me for money,
we'll talk later, yeah? So that launches, and there's a satellite in the sky that you put up there. It's insane. And so you're now working on a number of different projects. You're hugely involved in advising the government here on various stuff, particularly in access to information still, but also education. Maybe tell us about the here and now. What's going on now with the things you're working on?
So that satellite activity stopped at some point, and I re-engineered a new business called Yasmi. And Yasmi is about delivering education directly to people. So the whole thing that motivated me at all times was, in my own personal experience, the more books I read, the more like I felt something from inside my head pushing the walls of my brain. And I felt it is so easy to be able to deliver knowledge to people. If the only difference between you and another person, between me and my brother Giorgio over there, he's a doctor, is he can probably save himself if he gets bitten by a mosquito. I can't do that. And the reason I can't do that is because he has knowledge that I don't. I die because I don't have knowledge, because I don't have information. He dies. He goes on to live. So that's, in a sense, that's what has been the driving force. I want to see a way of delivering the best education to all of Ethiopia, to all of Africa, as soon as possible. And our strategy is to work with Ethiopian ministries so that we can help them train the people that teach. So in the context of Ethiopian Ministry of Education, we believe if we can educate every teacher how to teach every lesson, one lesson at a time, we will have done a marvelous thing to education in Ethiopia in a very short period of time. We believe we can create an infrastructure to deliver training to ministries that rely on trained personnel like agriculture and health. So that's what we do at Yazmi. We try to deliver an infrastructure, the juice, the content for that infrastructure. The government already has many versions of it, and it's available on the internet for free. What isn't available is this, what they call last mile connectivity. If that is available, like tentacles that reach all the peoples of Ethiopia, then you see a different nation. We will be like China, and we can be like China to build a new civilization in under 20, 30 years. I believe this, like I believe I'm sitting and talking in front of you.
As when someone who has said, I want to put a satellite in the sky, puts a satellite in the sky, says, I want to see education and people educated, every reach of the country, all rural areas, that's possible, right? And education is that thing that's going to see transformation take place in unbelievable ways. So it's exciting to see that you and your organization are shaping up to be pioneers in this space now and to grow that. In the room here and online, people watching, you have a bunch of people with a hunger really to want to see a better future, to use entrepreneurship and business as a means of doing that. As someone who has done that, what kind of thing would you say to them? I love the Amharic term, "Minta makrachwadle." What would you say to them that just says it's doable, like you're someone who's done it? What would you say to them as they're sitting in their room thinking, well...
So I would say it's not power or strength that makes a thing happen. It's a quiet, sensible sense of purpose or intention. If I have to build a satellite, if I told you the same story and I were to tell you that I raised this money, that I did that and I did this, then I would not be telling you the truth. The truth is I loved what I wanted to see, and it happened. There is many strange things that happen in this world. We don't know how they happen. But I personally know that if you are sincere about the thing you want to do, then there is more forces than French satellite companies and American regulatory infrastructure and rockets and people and engineers. All of these come together because these are the things you need to make this happen. But the real thing that makes something happen is trying to solve a problem. That's the best thing you can do. There's so many, our world is fractured by so many things, and there are so many problems to solve. If we were to put our minds on solving problems, it would be a much more powerful way to change our world.
Profound words. Wow.